Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Wednesday as you are listening to the show today. It is The Valley Business Today, and we have pre-recorded over the Zoom screen. And I have to tell you, I've got a newbie on the show with me today. And not only is this his first appearance on The Valley Today, but he is also my first international conversation. Alex Skinner is on the Zoom screen with me, and he is Alex, are you the owner or the founder of InnoVault in Old Town Winchester?
One could say both. I guess the founder is the term I use more often.
Well, I want to thank you because it is 3:00 on a Monday afternoon as you and I are recording this. However, it is 8 p.m. where you are in London. So I appreciate you giving up some of your evening to have a conversation with me today.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
So tell me about InnoVault. What exactly is it and where is it located?
Okay, so InnoVault is right in the heart of Winchester on the Old Town Walking Mall, 100 North Loudon Street. And it's the old F&M Bank, which has been really at the heart of that community for a long, long time. So this is a building that I saw about a year and a half ago now. Yeah, no, actually going on 2 years ago now. Sorry. I fell in love with this building. I had spent a lot of the last 10 years of my life traveling around the world, particularly working with young entrepreneurs. My background, weirdly, is in social science, in anthropology. But I spent a lot of time working in areas like real estate development. And what really hit me was the fact that there was this transformation in space that was enabling entrepreneurs to come together to generate new and exciting projects. And we saw this all over the world. And at the time when I started in this, I was actually residing in Mongolia, of all places, in the capital city, Ulaanbaatar. I lived there for almost 10 years. And this was about as far away from the metropolitan hubs of San Francisco and New York as you can imagine. But the people there, the young coders, the young technologists there, they were absolutely fantastic. And we help set up these spaces and these incubator programs and just really help mentor people to get to where they were going, to get onto the international stage. And there were a few individuals there who went from coding games and living with their parents to distributing in international markets, through publishers in San Francisco. So when I saw what was happening in Winchester, I got a feel for Winchester as this fantastic space with great education institutions, and honestly a city center that had been somewhat maligned over the years, that had sort of fallen out of not out of favor, but had less well utilized than it could be. And I saw this fantastic building. I thought, this is what we can do here. This is what this needs.
I am a Winchester native, born and raised in Winchester. I have been in the F&M Bank building since it was actually the F&M Bank. I think that's where my parents had their bank account. And I attended a Top of Virginia Regional Chamber event. I want to say that it was in very early March, maybe late February, just I think a week or two before the initial shutdowns started. And it was at InnoVault, and you have done an amazing job making that bank space feel like it's a place people would want to work. So tell me how that works actually.
Well, this was so much of this is thanks to our partners. And again, once we saw this space, we had a meeting with the owners who had only really just purchased this recently, and it had been left to sort of go to ruin over a certain amount of time. But it was Bill McIntosh and Co Eldridge, the two individuals who we partnered with to make this work. And they had this beautiful building. And it had all of these wonderful original architectural features, all of these wonderful steel columns, seen all these in the I-beams, the wonderful exposed brickwork, these beautiful, huge windows, arched windows. And all of this had been covered up because after, obviously it had been F&M Bank and then it moved over and was BB&T Bank for a while. It had been turned into basically office space, and all of these wonderful original features had disappeared. So we sat down and we looked over architectural plans and we did fantastic designs. But one of the great things our partners did when they were looking at the renovation of this space was they wanted to bring out the original character and feel, get this back to how it should be. And so we have this beautiful mix of functionality in a new space with this quasi-industrial feel to it, which I think really comes across. And it's always been the idea to take that really grand banking hall with the two bank vaults and make this into a performance space as well as just a co-working space. And that's something we've been making good on this year. Obviously, 2020 hasn't been kind to anyone involved in performance, but we are actually putting on new programs of jazz events. We actually have a jazz club regularly there now. And this is kicking off our events program into 2021. People can come and enjoy the space for reasons other than just work.
And I think it's important to note too, because I think a lot of times when people hear the phrase co-working space, the first image that pops into their mind is this giant building full of cubicles where everybody is sitting next to each other and nobody is talking to each other and nobody knows who's in the cubicle 4 seats down. And that is not at all the atmosphere or the experience that you have when you use one of your spaces at InnoVault.
Absolutely not. It's entirely different, and it's designed to be entirely different. We don't want the whole cubicle thing ever. People have options for different seating arrangements. So people who do need a bit more privacy can find a bit more privacy. But in the main, it's about community. And these co-working spaces are designed to foster community, to allow interaction that helps people develop their businesses, develop their network, to find collaborative solutions to problems they might be facing. It's one thing to sit alone in a cubicle and go about a business project, not really knowing who to reach out to solve certain issues, whether that's accounting issues, whether that's web design issues, coding issues, design issues. We actually have a whole community there. So all you have to do is walk 10 feet to your left or right, and you'll probably find someone who knows how to solve that problem for you. And that's really one of the great things about developing a co-working space like this. It's an entrepreneurial launch pad, as we call it.
I had Crystal Smith on the show several weeks ago. She was talking about the InnoVault pitch night. And as people are listening to the show on Wednesday afternoon, that's actually happening tomorrow night. But that's kind of the hub of what you're talking about, is bringing these businesses, these business people together to be able to kind of work together and figure things out to grow their individual businesses.
Precisely, and that's really what this is about. It's a beautiful space, but it's not really about the space. It's really about the people in the space and how they get on, and how we just take care of everything around them so that they can just get on with being amazing to each other and to their own businesses. We'll take care of the Wi-Fi, we'll take care of the coffee, we'll take care of absolutely everything so that they can just collaborate and communicate and work as they need to in a space which is totally uninterrupted. And I think that's really what we're all about. I mean, we have this pitch night, which I think is a fantastic idea. It's actually meant to be coming up this Thursday. Unfortunately, it's been pushed back a little bit. We're still dealing with the tail end of COVID restrictions, and that's been pushed back. But we will be in contact when that date finally arrives. We're now looking at March 6th. And that's a fantastic event as well. I've been to a lot of these all over the world. It's really great to see people with interesting business ideas just get up in front of a crowd and say, this is my idea. I've been holding on to this for years, but I really want to do this right now. What do you think? How can you help me? And we're going to have a panel of experts who are going to help provide feedback for people's ideas. We're going to help them present them, and they're going to be prizes at the end of this for the best pitch that will help the individuals pitching to take their idea to reality.
And I think it's important to note too that what you're saying is it's about the experience of starting and running and succeeding in business more so than the desk that you're sitting at or the filing cabinet that's next to you. And that's really what you're trying to focus on with this building, is getting the people to grow regardless of what their surroundings look like. It's just a perk that the surroundings also happen to be beautiful.
Absolutely. And so many co-working spaces are like this. There was, going back a few years now, I remember reading some reports by organizations like JLL where they're saying that 40% of all office space around the world in the next decade is going to be somehow co-working inspired. People are changing the way they work. And 2020 was incredibly interesting for all of us because it just blew the status quo out of the water in terms of how people work. What was really interesting for us, we had a rough year because we opened, and I remember you saying that you came to one of our inaugural events in March. We opened right into this, and it's been a really rough year for us trying to grow amidst COVID. But some of our success stories come from people who had been working at home for 5 years, 10 years, and suddenly they couldn't because everyone else is now home. So they came and sought refuge with us. Or people who lived in New York or DC, and they came home to be with family at a difficult time where their home city felt unsafe and were working remotely from our space. So we've been able to provide these kind of support mechanisms, but going forward, we're not just a support mechanism. We want to be a community for people who are now discovering, I can work from home. I can stay close to my home, close to where my children go to school. And I can lead a very, very productive, more productive work life doing this than I otherwise thought I could.
Yeah, we can work from home without actually working from our homes in our kitchens or bedrooms or living rooms and be even more productive.
Yeah, and that separation is really important, and we're just getting to deal with that now. It was always a problem. I've been a workaholic since day one, since I was at college. I was always a workaholic. So my workspace is wherever I am. But as I got older, I started to try and separate my life from my work because I would never stop working. And it's going to be a malady that we're going to be coming across into 2021, where people do start working more from home and their home ceases to be a place of enjoyment. So we try to make the workplace a place of enjoyment, but separate it out, so that we don't tread on our own, emotional toes, really.
You mentioned a minute ago about the different events, the jazz club that you have started. I know that you also host events. You've got a wedding, I think a wedding expo coming up, but you also do classes. And I could even rent part of your space to do social media classes, which is my day job. Can we take a commercial break and come back and talk a little bit about the other options aside from just the co-working space that you offer at InnoVault?
We absolutely can.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Alex Skinner. He is the founder of InnoVault. It is a co-working space located at 100 North Loudon Street. It is the old F&M Bank building on the corner across from the fountain. If you're not overly familiar with the Old Town Walking Mall in downtown Winchester, we're going to come back and continue our conversation with him in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a Quick Money Chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/quickmoneychat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Wednesday as you are listening to the show today. We, of course, have pre-recorded our conversation on the Zoom screen. We are chatting today with Alex Skinner. He is the founder of InnoVault. It is a co-working space located on the Old Town Walking Mall in downtown Winchester. Alex, we talked in the first segment about the experience and the knowledge and the wealth of resources that are available to people who choose InnoVault as their co-working space. And we were talking too before we went to break about events that you put together, as well as people who want to use your space to have events. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
So we offer the space for events that anyone can use the space. We have people looking to book the space for weddings, for bridal showers, for birthday parties. So anyone can make use of that space. But we also have our own program of events. So again, we have a regular jazz club. It's called the Flatline Jazz Club. It's hosted by Daniel Kelly, who's absolutely fantastic jazz drummer. And this is a regular series of events over each quarter. We also have a wedding expo showcase coming up, which again allows us to promote local businesses. A lot of people pushed their weddings back last year because of COVID and everything else. So we really want to promote local businesses in that particular field. And on top of that, we also offer training sessions. We are increasingly moving towards offering entrepreneurial training sessions and skills training sessions. We actually started out at the end of March last year with a great session by a friend of mine, Anthony Willoughby, who again came in by Zoom at that point in time, all the way from the UK. And with his wealth of experience, used this system that he put together after 30 years of traveling around the world, called as part of the Nomadic School of Business. To help people understand the territories of their business and how this is shifting due to COVID. A number of our members, and even members of the Chamber of Commerce, and even members of Shenandoah University, are now using this and teaching this, in fact. So that's one of the things that makes us really, really excited, is being able to introduce new ideas to the business community, things that will help people. But outside of that, we are also an event space. We're a fun space. You know, we want to showcase new music. We want people to come and approach us and say, hey, I really want to have this event here. Can you help us? And we will find a way to help, because it's all about that community.
You mentioned a second ago members. What exactly does a member look like at InnoVault?
Members are dramatically different from one another. And we have members who are startups, who are just building their first business. We have members who are habitual entrepreneurs. We have a few businesses who have chosen to domicile with us because it's less costly to have a space with us than it is to go through all of the hassle of renting a traditional office. So we have accountancy firms with us. We have a lot of not-for-profit organizations with us. And again, we have people who are just freelancers. We could be looking at lawyers, we could be looking at designers, even architects in the space. So it's a really diverse community, and part of that diversity really helps us because there is always a slightly different perspective. And again, there have been a number of small businesses which have already spiraled out of conversations over coffee in that space.
And I could see a couple of different things. I could see where if you are a small business and because of COVID, having the overhead of a full-on office space is something that you may look at needing to cut that expense. This is a great option to keeping your head still above water, but not having all of the extras that come with having to maintain your own office.
100%. This is, again, part of the beauty of the co-working concept. We provide Wi-Fi. We even provide free coffee. All right, we provide space. We provide everything someone needs, and so they pay their membership. It's like a subscription type membership. There are no long-term contracts for any of our spaces, so you can just come in if you want a private office, or if you just want to use a flex desk for if you need less privacy or less space. It allows people to come in, get set up, get to work, not have to worry about anything. They don't have to sign a rental contract. They don't have to worry about cleaning. They don't have to worry about, where their Wi-Fi is coming from, what's gone wrong with their network today. And we have very established multi-state businesses coming in and working with us because it's so much easier for them to get going in a location like Winchester than it is for them to go and dig around for an office space and sign all these contracts and have it all fit out. It's quicker, it's simpler, and ultimately it's cheaper.
You had me at free coffee. So I just want to go on record is you had me at free coffee. Although I couldn't make it to you with the amount of coffee that I drink.
It sounds like a challenge. Come join us.
So that's the perfect segue. As we wrap up our conversation, if somebody's listening and they're like, how have I lived all my life without having this opportunity? Where do they get more information? How do they reach out to you? What is the best first step?
The best first step is to check out our website. We're at www.innovault.space, SPACE, since we're a space. You can also check us out on Facebook. So you can search for InnoVault Winchester on there, or we're actually at InnoVault.coworking on Facebook. And those are the two best ways to find out more about us, what we're doing, what events are coming up. And again, if you follow us on Facebook, you'll get regular updates about what events are coming up, the next jazz club, the wedding expo. And again, if someone is looking to maybe contact us about using the space, about putting on an event, or even if someone wants a private party there, again, it could be a wedding party, it could be a bridal shower, please feel free to contact us via the website. We offer all of these services.
So I have to ask, as my last question for you, the name InnoVault, is that a play on the fact that it is an old bank building with the bank vaults there, or is that like a national name that I'm just not familiar with?
No, it's well, it hopefully will be a national name at some point. We are looking to expand. Again, I think we are going to grow into 2021 really significantly because of the new demand that's come on the back of COVID. But InnoVault, really, we are an innovation center. So that's the Inno part. And again, you've been in that building. Those bank vaults are absolutely spectacular. So, that's how we came up with the name.
Well, Alex, thank you for taking some time out of your evening in London to visit me on the Zoom screen today. I do appreciate it.
Janet, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to be on your show. And again, please feel free to drop by InnoVault anytime.
We are going to wrap up our conversation today with Alex Skinner. He is the founder of InnoVault. Again, it is located at 100 North Loudon Street. That is on the Old Town Walking Mall in downtown Winchester. I will put links to his website, Facebook, and everything on the show notes page. So if you're not able to get to it right this minute, you'll be able to access it from there later. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll have a brand new episode of The Valley Today ready to go for you. It is Community Health Partnership Day, so I'll be chatting with someone from Valley Health tomorrow. Meet me back here just a few minutes after noon.